Welcome to day 20 of the Trump administration. February 8th. I have my glasses on, even though they're right on my head, which I probably could have used to avoid that extra 3 or 4 seconds, but oh well. Two events of significance happened today. Sessions was just confirmed by the Senate. I'm not sure what the voting was at that point. I just skimmed over an article about it and watched it live. And the Supreme Court nominee, Mr. Gorsuch, called Trump's comments against the judge demoralizing, and it's notable for, again, being something that opposes him on a verbal level, similarly to the acting attorney general he had fired for her opposition to his agenda. You know, I don't know what it is about those people in the law. They have some kind of outspokenness about them. It might have to do with them being lawyers, or they're just all naturally that way. I don't know. The Sessions thing really does interest me because of the amount of people that I was able to recognize. You would Harris, my senator up there, Kaine, who I think I've only seen twice or 3 times since he's lost the election, the presidential election, which he made mention to. Not everybody in here wanted me to be vice president, even though we're friends. And you had McConnell talk him up and claim he got 97, Sessions got 97% of the vote in one of those elections for his Senate seat, which I'm going to fact check that later and see if that's correct. It was a really diverse pool of characters interacting during this section of today. Now, I really am interested in seeing what he does in office to quell the idea that, because there was a lot of validity to what Kaine said, which was that the Lovings couple went over to RFK and said, hey, can you help us with this? We're an interracial couple that got married in a state where interracial marriage is banned, yada, yada, yada. They felt that they could go to him, likely because of his stances and his known opposition to racism. But with Sessions, his known opposition to same-sex marriage, it's a valid point. How can a gay couple expect to come up to you as the attorney general you're supposed to be a hero for and realistically think you are going to fight for me and be on my side if I feel the law is doing me wrong? That's a valid argument he was making. And it didn't really occur to me to think that particular demographic would feel so bothered by his position, in the sense that, there are a lot of people who would argue, okay, well, with the Supreme Court, the president, they can repeal same-sex marriage or do something against it. Sessions doesn't really have that power as Attorney General in any capacity, but it's interesting to hear the perspective of what the LGBT community might think of him being in that office and what that ultimately means for their support in office. It's just befuddling to me for people to still be under this thought that if you go after a cabinet pick with a majority Republican Congress on both sides of the spectrum, in the House and the Senate, which, there was just, I couldn't fathom how any of the Democrats thought their opposition would be anything more than a public showing of disagreement. And that is not to suggest, you have to fall in line and do what we say and just vote with this person in. But realistically speaking, I think the best approach would be let the guy get in there. Either you vote for him or vote against him. It won't matter either way. Express your opposition at the time. See how he performs in office. Call him out on the ways in which you disagree with him. It's not very hard to do, and I think you get away with most of your arguments if after they perform in a way that you think is not good. Because I've never heard of an attorney general nominee backing out because some members of the opposite party didn't like him all that well or her all that well. You saw what they did to Lynch, where it was months before she got confirmed after she was announced to replace Holder. So that's that. Thank you for watching and have a good day.